sore from carrying all this mulch, but it's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be a nicer day out, right?
Fine, I guess.
What are you guys doing?
Picking up trash.
Picking up trash?
Picking up trash.
We painted this wall here. What are you guys doing today?
Raking up some leaves.
Will you come help?
Yeah, I'm coming.
All the mulch.
I have a soil spreader.
So I just dump it. She spreads it.
Oh yeah, we've mulched all of the little, what do you call those abs? Islands in the parking lot. We've mulched all of those.
We're in heaven right now. This is what life is about. Yeah, I want him. That's fun.
We're taking down some cement.
How was it today?
It was awesome. It sounds like you guys went out and did some really awesome things out in our community. I can't wait to see all the fun that happens here this afternoon.
parents, relatives, and guests, members of the Board of Education, faculty and staff of Gering Public Schools, and friends. Welcome to the 126th commencement exercises of Gering High School. This ceremony gives us an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments and achievements of our senior class. I'd like to introduce the distinguished guests that we have on the platform this afternoon. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Members of the Board of Education, Mr. Brian Copsey, President, Mr. Alan Dahl, Mr. B.J. Peters, Mr. Brady Shaw, Dr. Jerry Upp, Mrs. Mary Wynn, also Mr. Bob Hastings, Superintendent of Gering Schools, and Mr. Sean Seiler, Assistant Principal of Gering Schools. I'd like to recognize 3 students who, along with our salutatorians and valedictorians, comprise Gering High School's class of 2016 top 10 students. These students have earned the maximum credits and taken core classes. These young men are wearing medallions signifying their honor. Please stand and be recognized. Jonathan Hastings, son of Bob and Tracy Hastings, will attend Grace University. Marquise Melee, son of Travis and Naomi Melee, will be attending WNCC. Mitchell Martin, son of Diana Martin and Jeff Martin, is attending Nebraska Wesleyan University this fall. I now have the honor and privilege of presenting to you the Gering High School class of 2016 salutatorians and valedictorians. Students who have maintained their grade point average at the top of their class. For the past 4 years, through hard work, dedication, and perseverance, these students have managed to achieve at a performance very close to perfection. All are wearing gold medallions to signify their remarkable achievement. The salutatorians for the class of 2016 are Jason Dahl, son of Alan and Sharon Dahl. Jason will attend Chadron State College this fall. Kira Wysocki, daughter of Susie Wysocki and Pete Wysocki, will study camp management at Grace University. Please come forward and receive your plaques. We have 5 valedictorians this year. Each of the students have maintained a 4.0 grade point average and earned maximum credits and completed all of the core course requirements throughout their high school year. Take a moment and consider the tests, quizzes, assignments, the various teachers they've negotiated to get to this point. McKenna Copsey, daughter of Brian and Camden Copsey, McKenna will attend University of Nebraska-Lincoln this fall to study hospitality and tourism management. Megan Copsey, also daughter of Brian and Camden Copsey, McKenna will attend the University of Nebraska-Lincoln to study business administration. Hadley Kirk, daughter of Vernon and Laurel Kirk, will attend Utah State University to study elementary education. Geraldine Laws, daughter of Andy and Jesse Laws, Geraldine plans to attend Colorado State University and study health and exercise science to become a physical therapist. Colin Potts, son of Amy and Daryl Potts, Colin will study physics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Please come forward and receive your plaques. Gering High School has a tradition of providing all seniors with an opportunity to address their graduating class. Students submit a draft and present their speech to a panel of judges in order to be selected. This year, the words of Allison Baird, Colin Potts, Hadley Kirk, and Devin Hawkins will reflect the thoughts of the class of 2016.
Three years ago, I sat in this very gym and watched as my own brother graduated from Gering's class of 2013. I remember watching the graduates walk across this very stage and take the piece of paper that has been a mark of the future for so long. I know for me, it seemed as if my time in the cap and gown was an eternity away. I heard the "careful, before you know it, Allie, it will be you graduating." But I always just laughed because there was no way 3 years could actually go by in the blink of an eye, like everyone says. However, we stand here today on the very precipice of the future, our future. It is not a daydream or a distant reality anymore. It begins here. It begins here and today. Each year, as the graduating class is preparing to leave Gering High School, we often remember the entire class as a whole, as something, whether it be the fact that they were good athletes, had a gift for the arts, or were extremely intelligent. So as I began to prepare this speech, I thought about the talents, both obvious and not, that our class has. Of course, I remembered the amazing dancers, singers, runners, and artists that our class has to offer. There is no doubt with the right motivation, training, and encouragement, many in this class will be able to achieve greatness and meet a standard that only Gering High School holds their students to. When we think back to the year 2016, our senior year, we will remember the good times, the bad times, and even the sad times. Years from now, names may fade. We will probably not remember the specific awards and accolades we received, but I will say that we will remember those teachers and faculty members that had an impact on us, the ones who stayed late after school to give us extra help on materials that we didn't understand the first time it was taught, or the second, or the third. We will remember the coaches who shaped us into the athletes, speakers, writers, and performers that we are today, the ones who instilled a passion and love for the craft that we pursue. We will remember the times we made mistakes and burned bridges with friends over the course of our high school careers, but also the lessons we learned from those circumstances. We will remember the times we cried with our teammates at the loss of a game or a tournament. We will remember the bus rides, the early morning practices, and the late night revisions to speeches and art projects. We will remember the hard work we put into our passions, the devastation we felt when it turned out to be a loss, and the excitement we felt when it seemed that our hard work did indeed pay off. We will remember what it felt like to be a Gering Bulldog and what that means. But how will we be remembered? How has Gering's class of 2016 left its mark on our school, on our community? Will we be the class that changed the face of GHS Will we be the class that was talented, kind, intelligent, hardworking? We don't have a lot of control over how our class will be remembered. We know that we will be known as the Gering High School class of 2016 that was, well, fill in the blank. However, as we graduate today, what a comfort and amazing feeling it is that we move on to the next chapter in our lives. We can do it knowing that we have the ability to change our fate, per se. As we head off into the workforce, technical school, the military, and college, we get to make a new mark and leave a new legacy wherever we go. As individual graduates of Gering High School, but as individuals, we have the opportunity to be the people we may have always wished we could have been. Kind, intelligent, hardworking, whatever it may be. We can forget how we were known, how we were perceived, how we were, and become the class of 2016 that we always hoped and wanted to be.
As our 4 long, grueling, sometimes boring, but certainly memorable years of high school come to a close, it's hard to say exactly what defines us, the seniors, the graduating class of 2016. Some of us would say that we're defined by our greatest successes, whether that was scoring the winning goal of a soccer game or just passing an impossible math test. Others would say that they're defined by how they came back from their worst failures. A wise man once said, "Sometimes by losing a battle, you learn how to win the war." However, given that that wise man was actually Donald Trump, maybe that quote should be reconsidered. Maybe failure isn't how we're remembered. Instead, I would argue that we aren't defined by our successes or our failures. We're defined by what comes in between. Now, it's still easy for us to point out some of our greatest successes and some of our greatest failures. I've had a few successes, but I find that my failures are a lot more memorable. And that comes from everything from failing my driving test twice to tearing my pants wide open 3 times. But these great moments, some horrible, some fantastic, were just that, moments. Our greatest successes and our greatest failures only take up a few minutes of our life. Instead, the thing that takes up most of our time is pretty boring. Doing homework, going to school, hanging out with friends, and, if we ever find the time, sleeping. What we really spend all of our time doing is pretty mediocre. All of our lives are pretty boring, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But the people who are really exceptional, the ones who are noteworthy and ready to live a life that is influential, have learned how to defy the mediocrity of their daily lives. Now, maybe defying this mediocrity in our lives is easier said than done. But each of us has his own way of defying the status quo. Now, being exceptional doesn't require anything crazy like skydiving, bank robbery, or stamp collection. Instead, we disrupt the humdrum of our daily lives by hanging out with our friends, exploring our hobbies, and through moments of personal discovery. Now, throughout our time in high school, I occasionally watched as animosity grew between us. We would dispute over whose extracurricular was more important, whether theater was more important than sports, whether mock trial took more effort than basketball. But our pointless disagreements distracted us. It distracted us from what mattered most about our hobbies, the passion that we put into them. It doesn't matter which extracurriculars we chose. What matters most is how we each strove to discover our personal interests, to improve our skills, and to represent our school. And of course, our activities aren't the only way that we abstained from this normalcy. That crazy stuff that we did with our friends, and I won't elaborate since my mother's somewhere in this room, helped us to flout the daily routine, make ourselves exceptional by staying away from that tedious set of expectations. Now, if our defiance of monotony is what makes us truly exceptional, then all of you, the class of 2016, are some of the most exceptional people I have ever met. Among you are artists, athletes, scientists, doctors, entrepreneurs, teachers, and leaders, all of whom have striven to discover their personal strengths and passions. None of you is mediocre. You all have talents and goals, adventures and experiences, successes and failures. Truly, you have all stood above the commonplace and the normal, the stereotypical. You have each forged your own path instead of taking the easy way out. You've discovered who you are and who you want to become. Now, as you all enter the rest of your lives, going to college or entering the workforce, I encourage you to continue being exceptional. Despite struggles and obstacles that will certainly come your way, continue to try new activities, meet new people, and learn new things about yourself. Even when it may be easier, refuse to become mediocre. Do not focus too heavily on your failures, because they aren't what define you. But don't focus too heavily on your successes, because they're fleeting. Instead, show the world your greatness by taking the most boring parts of your life and making them into something interesting, spontaneous, adventurous, and, most importantly, fun. In the end, who we are is defined by how we abstain from mediocrity. Given that, all of you are undoubtedly exemplary. As you go forward, please share your passions and goals with those around you so as to improve the rest of the world. I congratulate you all on graduating, but I congratulate you even more on each refusing to become mediocre.
As we approach the culminating moment of our high school career, we can look back and see some of the cherished lasts of senior year. Just this Wednesday, we gathered together in the high school auditorium for the last time. And Saturday, we celebrated our last dance and all the other lasts that go along with prom. Last finals, last concerts, last races, last home games. All of our lasts have been celebrated, except one, our last ACT. We spent so many hours preparing for that test. We hammered the grammar and pudwicked it till we were blue in the face. We sharpened number 2 pencils and checked calculators more times than we want to remember, all because that 1 through 36 score meant so much for our futures. But in preparing so much for those grueling testing days, standardized tests have become a part of our past and our future. So before we can call time, lay our pencils down, and throw our hats, please open your test booklets and turn to page 1, kindergarten. Now, I know this was a long time ago, and many of us have different memories from our first year in school. Personally, I was on the other side of the country, but on my first day, and on your first day, and on the first day of kindergartners everywhere, we walked into a standardized world. Gone were the hours of playing outside or in the daycare that we were used to. Now we walked in straight lines, sat on carpet squares, and learned how to behave at school. We were introduced to the strict instructions that were preparing us for the ACT and our futures. As we progressed in school, we semi-mastered these simple instructions and came to the end of our elementary test booklet. So next, open your test booklet to the science portion of the test, an experiment we call junior high. We all remember how exciting it was to make that step from elementary school to a world where we had athletics, clubs, and dances, where girls wore makeup and boys carried lanyards. We all learned how to work in a new type of classroom, where the instructions and answers were not so black and white. Instead of teaching us everything about GMOs, for example, Mrs. Anderson helped us research the topic and then form our own opinions. Or Mr. Richter, instead of giving us an exact pattern to follow, let us make our own cuts and designs on our woodshop projects. We began to experiment with choosing between options and worked our way into the high school section of the test. In this new test, we had more options and more pressure than ever before. We could choose classes and activities that would determine our future interests and our friends for the rest of our lives. We could choose study habits and personal goals that would be refined and redefined for the next 4 years. And we could choose where to eat for lunch, which had no strings attached, but was a nice bonus. And quite honestly, we were so excited that we had these options, even if they were limited, that the pressure didn't really bother us, or at least it didn't bother us as freshmen. But we're not here to talk about the pressure. We're here to celebrate that we've made it through it and have finished the public school test booklet for good. Our future looms large, And for the first time since kindergarten, it is anything but standardized. We have been given a blank page rather than a Scantron, and that's part of the reason why we're a little scared to take the next step. Like, after taking the ACT, we all feel relieved that the test is over, but a little nervous for the results. And there's not an automatic step for us to take this time either. No directions telling us exactly what to do, and we have more options than we know what to do with. Some of us have chosen to open a new test booklet at universities across the country. Some of us will start a totally different kind of test with trade schools and internships. Others have even more options in gap years, careers, families, and foreign exchange programs. So while that blank page is a little intimidating, after always having bubbles to fill, I know that no Scantron is equipped to handle our futures. So now I call time. Lay your pencils down, close your test booklets, and get ready to graduate. We have moved beyond the world of standardized schooling and ACTs and are truly prepared to create a future where truly prepared to create a future more beautiful than any answer sheet and more successful than any scale can measure. Congratulations and good luck, class of 2016.
Hello, friends and family. My name is Devin Hawkins, and lately I have been thinking a lot about color. It seems to me that a lot of people have a favorite color. Some people like green, a lot of people like blue, and those are both really great colors, but my favorite color is white. Now, I know that a person's favorite color doesn't exactly say a lot about themselves. By telling someone that my favorite color is white, it is impossible to know my intelligence, my determinations, my passions, or anything about me, really. It's only when they ask, why, does my choice become more meaningful. This choice is not one that is shared by most of my peers. I know this. I also know that it most certainly cannot hold its own when stacked up against more extravagant colors like emerald or cerulean. But I love it. Nonetheless, I love it because white is everything to a creator. White is blank, it is empty. It is a piece of paper that lies before a student, begging for the elements that make up speech and writing. White is an untouched canvas that says, give your thoughts to me. White reminds me that what I am doing, whatever it may be, will bring about change. And all of these students here today remind me of this. Because the moment when we turn our tassels and throw our caps up in the air, that is the moment when you will all be blank canvases. The color white holds a special place in my heart, and I'm sure it does with other artists as well. But if you're not an artist, and most aren't, don't worry, because everyone is a creator. In everything we do, we manifest our ideas into reality, whether it's tossing a ball across the court, writing a paper, or even, say, speaking to a large group of people. We all take what we have and we run with it. When we talk about the real world, a lot of people seem to make a point of telling us it won't be easy, and it won't. But this is an idea that we have all grown frighteningly used to. Most of us are pretty scared to set foot into the adult world. After all, it is a world of responsibility, bills, taxes, and presidential elections. But one thing we all seem to be forgetting is that this is a world of possibilities, just like a blank canvas. And the time we spend after high school will be the time when we discover the creator within ourselves. As I said before, we are all blank canvases. So make it your mission to fill in that blank white canvas with every color this world has to offer. And in doing that, take the things you have learned at Gering with you every step of the way. You know, we carry everything that we have done with us today, both as a class and as individuals. These colors represent Gering. And I don't necessarily mean the high school, I mean it represents the Gering experience, which kind of sounds like that crazy roller coaster, you know, like the one in Disney World. Wait, no, I didn't go to Disney World. It would have been the one in SeaWorld, that's right. And then you'd get on and it would go ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. And then when you were at the top, it would just go whoosh, and then your stomach would practically fall out of your body, and there's some kid screaming in the background, but I digress. But if I can think of one feeling to describe last year, that ch-ch-ch-ch-ch, whoosh would definitely be it. And the kid screaming in the background is a lot more accurate than you might think. And I'm sure my class feels the same way. I mean, starting from the beginning of the year, we all became acquainted with that feeling when your stomach drops right before you get to the very top, and the coaster does that clicking thing that we all hate. It's kind of like a ticking time bomb, but you don't know when it's gonna go off. For Gering, our first fall was in the first months of our senior year. We had to overcome a substantial loss to the Gering family. I won't go into details because we all know that I'm talking about the one and only Mr. de Moranville. And if I have learned one thing from that man, it is that dwelling on the past will never help you face the future. I know that his passing made me so grateful for the teachers that are here with us today. I want to give thanks to you, teachers, for putting time, blood, sweat, and tears into guiding us and molding us, because I can assure you, you will not regret it. These kids have done so much in this last year, it's unbelievable. And if they are anything like me, they know that they owe it to themselves and the wonderful teachers at Gering to continue to do what they love, whether that is attending a college or university, developing your trade of skill, or even just trying to figure things out. You know, I respect all of you so much for standing with me today. I respect the staff of Gering High School for putting up with this ragtag bunch of students, and more than anything, I respect these colors. Because color holds more significance than one might think, especially when added to a blank canvas. So audience, open your eyes. Take all of this in. All of it. These are some of the smartest, most creative kids you will ever get to see. From perfect ACT scores to pageant and rodeo queens, to the artsy folk with a lot less time on their hands than they think, and even the sports stars who have more hand-eye coordination in their pinky toe than I have in my entire being. We have all come here to honor these students this afternoon. Some of us have made it by the skin of our teeth, but great Scott, Marty, we made it. And believe me, that is an accomplishment in and of itself. My name is Devin Hawkins, and my favorite color is white. And I have one last thing to leave with you today, Gering's class of 2016. Go out into the world and fill your lives with color. Take every experience you have, whether it's good or bad, and use it to paint what truly will be your masterpiece. And I think Mr. D would agree. Life is much too short to leave your canvas blank. Congratulations.
I always kind of hate to follow the senior speakers. For good reason. At this time, the Gering High School Concert Band, under the direction of Mr. Randy Rains, will perform Fate of the Gods by Stephen Reinecke.
it is my honor to be able to present to you the amount of the awards and scholarships that the class of 2016 received this year. They've accomplished some great things. Among the greatest probably are the 2 merit scholarship finalists that they have amongst them, which is a great accomplishment, especially for a class this size. In the end, they earned in scholarship funds $2,127,000. I also would like to present to you those that have chosen to move on to serve our country in its military. And when I announce your name, if you would please stand and then stay standing until I get all of them read. Frank Billy. Madihi Garcia. Mason Marsh. Courtney Onstadt. And Marissa Robles. Thank you all for choosing to serve your country.
Each year we have the honor of hosting a foreign exchange student from another country to participate as a Gering High School student. This broadens the school's cultural experience for both the exchange student and the Gering High School student body. This year we were fortunate to have Claire Allard from Belgium as part of the senior class. Her host parents are Veronica and Rob Barney. Please stand and be recognized. The Gering High School Harmony, under the direction of Ms. Shelley Ravel, will perform No Day But Today and I'll Carry You in My Heart. Thank you, Ms. Oops. Thank you, Ms. Bell, Gering High School Harmony. Members of the Board of Education, having reviewed the records and transcripts of these seniors, the faculty and staff at Gering High School certifies that each of these students, as noted in the commencement program, has met the requirements set forth by the Board of Education, and I now present to you the individual students for graduation. Yeah, I gotta get you the reader pages.
That's right. Well, here we go. I am Marlo Aguayo. April Dawn Allers. Claire Sophie Allard. Garrett Brian Allball. Naomi Ruth Amaro. Allison Carly Baird. Brent Allen Barge. Mariah Jasmine Barraza. Kirsten Bailey Barrett. Christopher Marcus Abarto. Rachel Elise Abini. J. Brock Belgum. McKay Lynn Bianco. Frank Allen Billy Jr. Allie Mason Boggs. Kristen Marie Bowles. Alyssa Jean Bolton. Brendan Trace Brester. Cassandra Jordan Bringleson. Autumn Michelle Beeler. Allison Marie Boyda. Anna Karen Bastillos Contreras. Javier Campos. Cole Patrick Carey. Carl Andrew Case. Bailey Denise Chamness. Gabriel Dion Contreras. McKenna Lee Copsey. Megan Lynn Copsey. Anastasia May Cowan. Austin Nathaniel Dolberg.
Jason Andrew Dahl. Luis David Dominguez. Haley Marie Dyke. Alyssa Ruth Escamilla. Juan Antonio Escamilla II, in absentia. Davis Jean Escom. Taylor Dawn Evans. Bowen Vance Fitz. April Marie Foster. Abigail Brooke Fries. Malay Garcia. Michaeline Renee Garcia. Alicia Michelle Harding. Jonathan Robert Hastings. Devin Casey Hawkins. Keegan Michael Halbrand. Zachary Thomas Helt. Luis Alberto Hernandez Jr. Thomas William Hines. Alyssa Rose Hoagland. Austin John Hoffman. Bridget Ann Hoffman. Weston Kirkpatrick Hudson. Caitlin Lene Johns. Isaiah Tyson Wayne Kelsey. Sabrina Ann Kessler. Abby Lynn Kiesel. Amanda Sue Kilthau. Hadley Jean Kirk. Zoe Frances Grace Kosmicki in absentia. Kendra Lene Cookshausen. Ashlyn Ann Lane. Sarah Ann Lane.
Jerry Lynn Marie Laws. Leanne Frances Lear. Michael Earl Allen LeMay. Emma Catherine Leipold in absentia. Augustus Joe Long. Kimberly Lopez Almaraz. Marquise Aaron Maley. Mason Scott Marsh. Mitchell David Martin. Katie Ann Martindale. Catherine Karen Martinez. Daly Chance McGrath in absentia. Madeline Louise Millay. Briley Paige Miller. Fiona Renee Miller. Peyton Elizabeth Mooney. Abigail de Los Angeles Marino. Christian Rafael Marino. Victoria Ann Mueller. Alexis Sierra Munoz. Tegan Ray Murdoch. Antonio Santiago Murillo. Stephen Lee Murphy. Nolan Christopher Nelson. Tyler Jonathan Nepper. Kirsten Ashley Newton. Courtney Irene Onstad. Leticia Rose Michaels Ozuna. Joshua Para. Isaac Michael Phillip. Jacob Gady Piper. Robin Allison Pierce. Colin Luke Potts.
Bianca Quintana Quezada. Maria Angelica Ramirez. Austin Turner Reynolds. Jade Camille Riedel. Marissa Ann Robles. Ty Richard Romy. Alejandro Salazar Jr. Destiny Selena Savala. Allie Taylor Shaneman. Sarah Ann Schwarzkopf. Anne-Marie Rose Sebastiani. JC Edwin Shaw. Kaylin Faith Shaw. Lauren Loy Shaw.
Daniel Adam Sinks. Brandon Michael Smith. Jenny June Stark. Robert Matthew Stout. Michaela Grace Talavat. Dylan Scott Thompson. Hannah K. Thompson. Logan James Van Ann. Zoe Danielle Van Dyke. Jonathan Michael Van Galder in absentia. Ramon Villalobos Picasso. Caitlin Joanne Wagner. Morgan McKay Wallace. Alexander James Warfield. Brandon Lane White Crane Walking. Tanner James Wilson. Kira Nicole Wysocki. Adriana Eileen York. Alyssa Tatum Zwickle.
Before we dismiss from these proceedings, there's some individuals I'd like to thank for making this afternoon special. The Gering High School staff who gave their time this afternoon, the staff spouses for donating their time also, Mrs. Rains, Mrs. Razimski, and Mrs. Lewandowski for their work and detail and help getting the seniors through all 3 years at the high school. Mr. Lashley, Mrs. Hamer, Mr. Seiler, and Mrs. Knight for their assistance in arranging this ceremony and taking care of the fine details. Ms. Ravel and Mr. Rains for the musical edition. National Honor Society for their help with the programs. The WNCC staff for their time and use of the facility. And the senior class officers for their leadership in today's ceremony. Alejandro Salazar, Antonio Murillo, Mitchell Martin, and Jason Dahl. I would ask the audience to stay in place until all graduates have left the auditorium. Will the graduates please rise? Parents, relatives, friends, I present to you the Gering High School class of 2016.